Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Math Help with me, Miss McCarthy. I'm so honored that you're here today. In fact, these episodes are actually powered by teachers and parents like you. That's right, over at mccarthymathacademy.com/mathhelp is where you can submit or upload any questions for math that you might have, especially in grades 3, 4, and 5. I'm on a mission to make math fun, make it click and make it stick for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. So I love being able to help you make math make sense with the kids that you work with. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to today's question and let me teach you. Today we have a 4th grade question from Allie S. Hello, Allie. Thank you so much. You're coming in from Mount Dora, Florida. Mount Dora is not too far away from me. Awesome. Okay, so Allie, your question was that Liam made a rectangular picture frame. Okay, the area of the, I'm going to write length times width right there. That's how I annotate. The area of the frame is 48 square inches with whole number side length. So we have whole number length and width. What are some possible perimeters of the frame? Select all that apply. So this is a multi-select problem, which means that we actually need to take a close look at each option because there could be more than one answer. Allie, this was a great question to submit. Let me draw this out a little bit so I can make sense of it. Okay. We got somebody named Liam. Here's Liam. Liam, he made, kudos to you, Liam, making a rectangular picture frame. So here is the picture frame. Okay. The area of the frame is 48 square inches. So the inside is 48 square inches. And the thing is, we don't know the length or the width, but we do know something about that. We know that the length and the width are whole number side lengths. So no fractions, no decimals here. The question says, what are some of the possible perimeters of the frame? I want to make sure that we understand the difference of the perimeter and the area of a rectangle. I'm going to do that using my perimeter and area song. Let me be of some assistance. Perimeter is the distance or length around like a yard fence. Find the sum of the sides with addition. You also got to know about area, the space a 2D figure takes up. So this rectangle has an area, the space that it's taking up. We can count up the squares or multiply the length times width. And don't forget to use square units. So the distance around is the perimeter. The space inside is the area. So let's think about, what do we know about perimeter? We said we find the sum of the sides. So we know that the perimeter would equal L plus W plus W, or it could be that the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Sorry, I ran out of space a little bit there. But here's the thing. We don't know the length or the width yet. We need to figure that out first. We need to figure out what the possible length and width could be. So for area, we know that we multiply the length times the width, right? We multiply the length times the width. That gives us the area. So to do that, we can think about what are the factors of 48. And I like to find factors by using a factor rainbow. So that's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of steps going on here. Okay, so factor rainbow. The first thing that we know is that we could do 1 times 48. That would give us 48. Because 48 is even, we could also do 2 times what? 24. That's right, 3. Let's see if 3 goes into 48 real quick. I'm going to use I could do times 10 would be 30. Yep, and then times 6 would be 18. I'm doing this real quick. You can use whatever division method you think, but yes, it would be 3 and 16. And we could do another one. We know that 4 times what equals 48? 4 times 12, okay? And then I'm running out of space here. So I'm going to draw the smallest one right there because there's one more that I'm thinking of that we could do, and that would be 6 times 8. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Sorry that my factor rainbow was not that big, but hopefully you understand what I did there. So we found the factors of 48. That means we could have a length of 1 and a width of 48. That would be a really funny looking picture frame, but it could be done. We could have 2 inches by 24 inches. Again, that would look kind of funny too. We could do 3 by 16, we could do 4 by 12, or 6 by 8. Let's go ahead and just start adding those up. And you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself some more thinking space down here. So I'm gonna say, what if P equals 1 plus 1 plus 48 plus 48? Okay, well, just by looking at that, I know that 48 and 48, that's going to be way bigger than any of my other options there. So this would not be one to choose. So now moving on, what if we have 2 plus 2, because we know that the opposite sides are congruent. 2 plus 2 plus 24 plus 24. Again, using number sense, I can say 24 and 24 is 48 inches already. That's more than what we have. We go from 28 inches to 40 inches. So that is not going to give us an answer choice. I can kind of stop solving that. How about 3 and 16? So 2 sides with 3 inches plus 2 sides with 16 inches. So 3 and 3 would give us 6. 16 plus 16, well, 10 and 10 is 20. 6 and 6 is 12. 10 plus 12 is 22. Hold up, let's freeze right there. This is me, Miss McCarthy, editing this video, and I realized that I definitely made a mathematical mistake. 16 plus 16 is not 22, it is 32. So let me go ahead and fix that. You'll notice that as I continue this problem, I'm going to go ahead and mark A, 28 inches. And I'm going to leave it there because there is actually another answer that ends up being A. So just hold tight, understand that I know that I made a mistake. You probably caught it too, so air 5 for you, and let's continue. Side of 4, a side of 4, a side of 12, and a side of 12. Okay, 4 and 4 is 8. 12 and 12 is 24. 8 plus 24 is 32. Is that an answer choice? It is 32 inches. Our last option to try is 6 and 8. So 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8. 6 and 6 is 12. 8 plus 8 is 16. 12 plus 16 gives us a total of 28. And I'm seeing the correct answers as A and C. And this was a very heavy duty problem here. You had to know what area was. You had to know what perimeter is. You have to think about how can I figure out these side lengths based on the information that I've got. You know, we could use factoring for that. So there's an option for the factor rainbow. And then we have to add up all the sides. Like, this is a heavy duty problem, but this, y'all, is a very real 4th grade problem. This is definitely something that you can expect your 4th graders to encounter. So hopefully you found this to be helpful. And if you're thinking, this was a lot, this was great, but I need more practice with this as a teacher, or I need to learn more about this as a parent, or I want something for my students or my children to have more opportunities to practice like this, I want to let you know that I have a members area that have tons of videos covering the skills that we talked about today. All right, so you can look above. You'll notice that there are 2 websites above. One says mccarthymathacademy.com/teachers. That's for teachers to go to. And if you are a parent, go to the one that says /family. Let me go ahead and show you some of the video lessons that I have that will target some of the skills that we learned about today. This is perimeter and area review in rectangles. You can see we have real world problems over here. So this is the video. Look at all of this that we're doing, y'all. So here's the printable student guide. So you just print this out and follow along and take notes with me in this video. So you can see we're talking about perimeter and area and a canvas and dimensions and all of that stuff. And here we've got real world, try that real fast, real world area and perimeter problems in this video. If I just take a peek, bam, there's a lot going on here. Okay, and the student guide is right there. So 2 videos there. You'll also notice the perimeter and area song. I'll go ahead and link the perimeter and area YouTube video, music video, that's right here, into this video as well. Another 4th grade skill is rectangles with the same perimeter in different areas, and rectangles with the same areas but different perimeters, which is kind of what we did today, right? Because we knew we had the common area of 48 square inches, but there were different perimeters involved. So this would be a great next step video if you needed it. Maybe you needed a video in factoring, so let me show you what I've got there. Okay, this is the benchmark for factoring. So if you need to practice with finding all the factors, look, we're taking a deep dive here into how to determine the factors when you know the product. Okay, there we go, using the factor rainbow method that we used, but isolating that skill to practice. There's also an episode on using the divisibility rules, which we didn't really tackle in this video, but that's a good next step too. So as you can see, there are lots of videos available for you in the memberships that I have available for parents and for teachers at mccarthymathacademy.com/teachers or /family to get you started. I want to thank Allie again in Mount Dora for submitting this question. This was a great one to cover because there were so many different skills. And I also want to remind you that if you have a math question and you're looking for a little bit of help to make it make sense, go to mccarthymathacademy.com/mathhelp and submit your question. And finally, if you're walking away from this episode and you're like, that was really helpful, the best way that you can say thank you is to tap that like button. It really does allow me to continue to bring free content to you on YouTube. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? If you know somebody that could benefit from this lesson who's in 4th grade or teaches 4th grade or is a parent of a 4th grader, share this video with them. And finally, if you want to be the first to know when I drop a new video for Math Help with Miss McCarthy, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. That way you'll be the first to know. With that said, I hope that you have an amazing day. Get out there in the world and make it special in your own way, and I'll see you next time.